At AIDS, it's your boy Soul Immortal. Brothers, I want to talk about a thing today, because if this information pertains to you and you don't know that it pertains to you, brother, I'm telling you, you'll find your life in a cyclone. You'll find your life in a whirlwind at times, and you will have absolutely no idea why. Absolutely no idea why, right? So a couple of years ago, I want to say 3 years ago, I was taking my mom out to eat for Mother's Day. I was in Longview, Texas, 903, hometown, right? And for a lot of you that don't, really understand how the 903 operates, how East Texas operates, there are still a lot of pockets in East Texas, man, that still operate on the frequency of like the 1960s or 50s or prior to that. In other words, there are still a lot of people that feel like just because they look a certain way that other people should conduct themselves as if they're below them, right? And I'm telling you, in my opinion, the hometown that I love, Longview, Texas, is one of those places, right? So, long story short, taking my mom out to eat, man, Mother's Day, friends, family, it's the sister that I was dating at the time. So we get there, and of course, Mother's Day is packed, right? So we're in the lobby, man. It's shoulder to shoulder almost, man. People just sitting there communing, talking, having a good time. And all of a sudden, man, I just started getting this vibe. I started getting this feel. I started getting upset. There's no other word for it, man. It got to the point where I was pacing around. It went from me just being in a joyous mood to just ag for no reason, man. But I had no idea why. And the girl that I was dating, she was like, what's going on? Like, why are you mad? And it got to the point, brother, where I was mad at her and didn't know why. And she was like, you're doing that thing again, because I would do this periodically, man. And again, brothers, I had no idea why. Long story short, we go and sit down and we eat, man, and things just calm down. The mood just lightens up. I'm in a circle of nothing but friends and family, and and the mood ended up getting great, man. And we're taking pictures, and life was good again. Life was back to normal. But brother, it was so severe moments before that, I had to research it. So when I got home, whether it's the next day or whenever, I just started like Googling things, man, because I thought it was part of the whole, PTSD package. So I started Googling things, man, and I came across an article talking about empaths, right? And I'm telling you, before that, I may have heard that word spoken, but I didn't know what it was. And I'm reading this article, brother, and I'm like, bro, this is exactly what I've been experiencing forever. And I'm telling you, brother, that was the first step in me understanding how I'm made, me understanding why I move certain ways, and brothers, ultimately understanding what my superpower was, brothers. So today, I want to talk about 3 things that'll let you know that you are an empath. And then, brothers, I want to let you know how it's your superpower.
Is it not written in your law that ye are gods? You understand what I'm saying? So it just depends on what level you on based on, whether you're human or whether you're immortal.
So the first thing, brothers, one way you will know that you are an empath is crowds can drain you. I'll say it again. Being in areas, being in rooms with a lot of people, being at concerts, being at movie theaters, being anywhere where a lot of people are operating, brother, this can drain you. Now, I love, I can sit at home on a weekend, man, for several consecutive weekends, brother. But at the same time, I love to turn up. If I'm out and about, if I'm hitting a club, if I'm VIPing, if I'm going to a party, brother, I'm telling you, you would never even know I'm introverted. I can be shoulder to shoulder, having a good time, popping bottles with the life of the party, and turn up and have a good time. Brother, I can drive from coast to coast. I can go from Sacramento all the way to Clearwater, stopping at every truck stop, every restaurant, every scenic place, every museum, every whatever. Be amongst people all day and enjoy life, man. I love it. I love being around people. But whenever I get to a stop, Like whenever I get home from the club, whenever I get home from a party or some kind of social gathering, brother, I am done. I am completely done. And for the longest, I didn't know how to label it. I didn't know what to call that, man. In my mind, I would say, you know what, brothers, I just don't like people. When that's the complete opposite. I love people. I love spending time with my brothers. I love chopping up with my sisters, man. But it's like when I do it, once I remove myself from that, brothers, I am done. And the reason is because us as empaths, man, we're constantly exchanging energy with people. But I can go to a restaurant and if I'm, before I was aware of it, I was exchanging energy with people clean across the room just because they were in that space. Because if you got to understand, if you don't understand what's taking place within inside of you, then when you're getting these vibes and you're conducting yourself and it's changing your emotional energy, but brother, again, you're just going haywire, man. You don't know what to call that thing, But I can tell you this, and I think subconsciously I knew this before. I can remember going to a concert by myself, bro. I had to be 17, maybe 18 years old. Tyler, Texas. I think it was All Palace in Tyler, Texas. UGK, man. And I wanted to go, man. A lot of my partners kind of backed out, so I ended up going by myself. And I remember pulling up, and for some reason, I was like, dang it, I don't want to be around all these people. Didn't really know why. Went up in the concert, man, and for some reason, some way I had the ability to block people out, man. Even when I think about this concert now, I can remember seeing all the people on the outside, but when I relived the concert in my mind, it was almost like I was in a building by myself, watching them on stage. And had a blast, brothers. Had a blast. So now understanding, what takes place when I'm out and about amongst people. Now I have to, or I've learned to place this bubble over myself. I place this bubble around me. You've heard me talk about one of the main things, when it comes to even entertaining a woman, is like when we're out and about, like I need that woman to have the ability to be in that bubble with me. Like we can be in a VIP, we can be in a hot spot, in a new club, the new restaurant, right? But when we're at our table, I need there to be an invisible shield around us. But because if she's tied to this, the rest of the world is taking place, then she's allowing that energy into my space, and that's a whole nother conversation. But brothers, that's a real thing. So if you're one of the people that once you go to the club and have fun, once you go to the concert, once you go to maybe even church or mass or Juma or whatever, once you get around a larger number of people, the mall, once you come out of that situation, if you're feeling kind of altered and you don't know why, brother, there's a great chance you're an empath. So the second one, brothers, is your love for isolation. Your love for isolation. Now, I'm going to tell you this, bro. I love to travel. I love to see the world. I love to go out. I love to go to the movie theaters. All kinds of stuff. I love going to the farmers markets. You know what I'm saying? I love going to wine lounges and coffee shops. I love it, bro. I love getting out doing new things. But there is nothing more satisfying. There's nothing more satisfying than me cutting everything off in this house, brothers, and finding me a soft seat to sit on, a little quiet book, maybe just a YouTube channel to kind of go through for a while, and just stay there for days at a time. Brother, I crave isolation. I crave isolation. And the thing is, I talk about that the silence all the time and getting enlightenment and getting all that stuff. And that's part of being in the silent fight. You can find wisdom and knowledge and understanding. But brother, the thing that I love about being in my own space the most is that I can swim only in my own energy. And the reason I love it so much is because it's rare that I can do that. If I go to the grocery store, I go to the grocery store all the time. If I go to Walmart, if I just run down to Starbucks or the coffee shop that I've been hearing here lately, brothers, It's like I'm always exchanging energy, even if it's on a low amount. So when I'm here at home in silence and by myself, brother, there's nothing like it. But there's absolutely nothing like it. And I'm telling you, even when I'm in relationships, even if I'm in a stage where I'm dating a young woman and we're getting to know each other, and our energies are mixing. Even in those situations, brother, as much as I love being close to a woman, you hear me say it all the time. As I love, doing things with a woman. Even in the perfect scenario, I still have to have my time. And I'm telling you, a lot of brothers I talk to, a lot of sisters I talk to are the exact same way. I know a lot of women, man, that are submissive, solid, clean, good women. But a lot of times they say, you know what, I gotta separate from my husband sometime, and I ain't gotta get out. I might just need to get in a room to myself. I might just need to take a walk around the block. Let me tell you this, brother. Let me tell you this, man. And I didn't understand what it was back when I was married. I didn't understand what it was, man. Me and my wife, brother, we did everything together, man. Life was good. When life was at its best, I would do this, man. It would get to the point where maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, man. We had been together every day, going out on the weekends, having fun, whatever we were doing. Every once in a while, brothers, I would get up about 2:00 in the morning, and she would hear me get out of bed, and I was just like, hey, you know what? Like I just got to get out the house. 2 a.m, bro. And I was living in Tyler. I would get in my truck. And I would drive around Tyler, brother, maybe just for 20 or 30 minutes. I might take a trip around Loop 323, right? I might just go down through Broadway and come on back to the house. And at the time, man, I had no idea what that was. Even my wife at the time, she didn't know what it was. She was like, all right, well, you're doing that thing again. Whatever it is you do, like I'll see you in a little bit. You know what I mean? And I didn't know what that was, but I had to reset. Like resetting it's imperative. It's a non-negotiable, man. And a lot of people will look at empaths and say, you know what? Oh, this brother, he can be moody. And I heard that Cancer men can be moody, whatever that means. But a lot of that is just that whole reset time that has to be had, man. It has to be had, brothers. So again, even in relationships, even with partners, man, I got partners that I love to hang out with, but back when I hung out a lot, but it would come a point in time where it's like, all right, well, we kicked it last weekend. Like, I'll see you brothers next month type. So yeah. So if you love that silence, if you have to have that reset time, brothers, you may be an empath. Now, the third one, brothers, is, and I think this is important, you are extremely understanding, right? And what I mean by understanding is like you're a very fair and just person, just by default, whether you want to or not. Now, this is the part about that. This is the thing that I think a lot of empaths get taken advantage for, right? But because one thing that I notice is, or one quality that we have is we're able to see the world through others' lenses. We're very compassionate. We're very empathetic. So even if you and a person are disagreeing on something, you have the ability to at least temporarily put yourself in their shoes and see the world as they see it. And I'm telling you, a lot of people can't do that. Now, the pro and con to that is once you do that and once you make a decision based on that, that doesn't mean that person you're interacting with feels the same way. So when people see you move like that sometime and show that much compassion, they see it as a weakness. And if you don't understand that they don't see it how you see it, brothers, you can take a huge loss on it, man. You can take a huge loss. So again, there's pros and cons. Going back to my and I keep going back to my marriage. I don't know why I keep going back to that scenario. But even when me and my wife got divorced, we're going through a divorce. And brothers, y'all know how bad a divorce can be. Y'all know how bad a divorce can be. I was still adjust. People talk about prenups and all that kind of stuff. I think if people get married, prenups are important. Prenups are an important thing. But I can remember going back through my divorce and we was going our separate ways. It was like nothing like that was even needed, because I was like, even though we're on the worst of terms at this moment, I can still see the world through her shoes, and I can be a fair person. We're going through all this chaos, and brother, I can remember helping her get an apartment. I can remember helping her get a brand new car. I can remember helping her move in the midst of our turmoil. I'm taking a huge L, but I can still see, life through her lenses. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, a lot of people that move like that. But I'm telling you, one thing you have to understand is that everybody doesn't see that. Everybody can't appreciate you moving like that. And I'm telling you, a lot of people will take advantage of that. One pro I would say is it definitely helps in understanding as far as like problem solving, especially for other people or between two other people. But because you're just, you can see justice, from the grand scheme of things, right? Even like when I have, a lot of my consultation clients, they can call me with scenarios that I've never experienced sometimes, or women can call me and tell me about scenarios from their guy, that they're experiencing with their men. But I innately have the ability to separate myself from myself, put myself in their shoes, and it allows me to relate to people better. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm on one-on-ones, when I'm talking to a group of people, I can relate to them better, because I can literally feel what they're feeling. When they're angry, I can feel when a brother calls me and tells me, his mom is sick, or his girl may be cheating, or a girl is saying, whatever. It's like I'm literally experiencing that. I'm literally feeling that. That's why after some time, if I have a day, man, where I'm having like 4 or 5 consultations, brother, when I get done at the end of the day, I have to get out and go back to that isolation. Like, it's not even, and the thing for me, like the ultimate isolation for me is always nature. Like, there's a trail back behind my neighborhood, man, where it's kind of on the edge of the woods, brothers. And when I have a day, man, where I have a lot of different energies on me, whether it's because I've been out all day, but I have to walk that path, or I have to go out in one of the trails here in Dallas and just be amongst the trees, be amongst the squirrels and the birds, because it almost feels like that stuff strips energy off of me. Like it's a cleanse for me, man. Whether it's 45 minutes, hour and a half, brother, when I come out of there, it's like, you know what? Okay, I'm back to normal. So yeah, man, if you're one of these people that, you're very understanding almost to a fault, brothers, there's a great chance that you're an empath. So why do I say this is a superpower, brothers? Because you have to understand, first off, you'll understand that it's a superpower once you understand that everybody doesn't see the world how you see it. Have y'all ever saw the movie, I think it's called They Live? Came out around like late 80s, early 90s. And it was about a brother that found this box of shades. And once he put these glasses on, these shades on his eyes, he could see the world different. He could see who people really are. He could see like what all the propaganda on the walls. If you haven't seen it, it's old school, brothers, but you have to see it. It's called They Live. Anyway, the brother got these glasses, and he would put the glasses on, take them off, put them on, take them off, put them on, take them off. He was noticing that the world was different when he was looking through these lenses, right? You have to understand, brothers, that as an empath, that's how we move. Like when you see the world and it's different, and you're trying to understand why everybody else doesn't see it like that, it's because you have a trait that a lot of people don't have. Some people are faster, some people are smarter, some people can jump 100 miles in the sky. Everybody has a superpower. You have to understand that as an empath, that's yours, brothers. You have to understand that the rest of the world doesn't see the world as you see it. You know what I'm saying? In other words, they don't see the BS, stuff that we call BS. And we like, how does everybody not relate to what I'm talking about? It's like they don't see it. Even when it comes to women, brothers, I could meet some women and they'll put this front on, and it's like in my mind I'm thinking, do they not see? Like, do they not think I can see them? You know what I'm saying? Like they don't think I can see clean through the facade. I have some brothers, because brothers are just as bad as far as coming in, man, like being something they aren't. I see some brothers and I'm like, do they think I don't see them? Like I'm looking at you, brother. Like I'm looking dead at you. I'm watching how you move. I'm watching. Do you think I don't see you? And the thing is, it's like, oh, you know what? They don't get it. Even when I'm watching television, I can watch a commercial, I can watch a movie, and I can always just feel the underlying message that's really coming my way. You know, so when I talk about I don't watch TV, I don't watch certain things, which I have started watching sports lately. I'll admit, man, I have been watching my Cowboys, man, and a few other sporting events, brother, and I'm loving it. But when I say I don't watch a lot of that stuff, it's because I sense that energy a little bit more than the masses. A lot of people sense that energy from television shows a little bit more than the masses. A lot of people sense the BS from men and women a little bit more than the masses, man. You know, and it makes me think about a couple of my partners, man. I got a partner named Travis. He's in the power circle. He's on my IG, artist, one of the dopest artists I've seen. I'm looking at his work, man, and I'm like, how in the hell does Travis draw that like with so much detail? It's because Travis sees the world, you know, unlike I see it. I don't see the world like Travis. I got a partner named Lone Star Music. He's right here in Dallas, man. He's worked with some of the biggest people in the industry. He's making beats live on YouTube now. He's on my IG. And I'm like, dang, how did that brother put those beats together, that melody, that background together like so easily? It's because he sees the world. He hears the world different than I see it. And I'm telling you, brothers, a lot of the reasons why people don't respond to things like you do, a lot of the reasons why people act the way they act and you don't understand it is simply because they don't see the world as you see it.